Hello everyone, my name is Legend Ronnie and this game is Rise of Kingdoms and the league bets are here. I4 Talent is here, so obviously there is something to talk about. Probably some of you don't want to say it, but everyone is happy to actually bet or spend their virtual coins on betting, because even if you want to say it or not, you still love it and everyone still likes it to actually bet and predict who's going to win and actually have that enjoyment when you actually see those emails coming in with the coins. So definitely I'm here to advise you about the league bets, the Eye of Talent. I bought the bundle, so I'm going to tell you about that as well. And we're going to see which teams offer you a little bit of a prediction and some tips and advices on how to actually bet on the Osiris League Season 2. First thing I'm gonna start with is definitely gonna be the shops, just in case some people are probably not interested hearing my tips and advices about the teams or the prediction and who's gonna win and all that, because I do have to talk a little bit about that part. So I'm just gonna go about the league bets, the I4 Talent and the shop. So in the league bets we have ranking as well, so now people can actually show off their earning rates. Now we're gonna see the top players, how much they actually managed to earn. There's also total earnings. I believe that this is what I was trying to say the first time. So it's the total earnings rankings and it's earnings per round, so you can actually see how much some people managed to get. So you can see your kingdoms, you can see your realm. Pretty much it's local but still very nice about having some rankings. I actually like that. We also have the shop, like I was mentioning, and I'm a little bit surprised it's the actually same blueprints and they only put one piece. It was 7 pieces on the previous one. Why they just keep it with 7 pieces? I don't know, but obviously pretty much everything that is in this shop, all players will manage to get it. So there's not a question of how, there's a question of when. Because one of my advices about the betting is that you don't spend your Aurics every single time. You don't just go empty on Aurics, because 50% you lose. So if you keep spending your Aurics every single time and you keep losing on the bets, then pretty much you will not have coins to get the stuff that you need from the shop. So my advice would be to actually don't throw in your Aurics every single time. I usually keep about 40% of my Aurics. So by the end of the week, if I manage to make 1,000 Aurics, I keep 400. By the end of the next week, let's say if I have 5,000, because probably I want something, I keep about 2,000. So there's always, I keep something in reserves, because I want to make sure that I want to buy some of these stuffs from the shop. So this is one advice that I want to give you regarding that. As what you should buy from the shop, just in case you don't manage to make coins for everything. Well, Iced Saffrons is definitely worth it. Legendary Commander Sculptures, highly worth it. Then you have the action points, you have the speed ups, you have the keys, you have the gold stars. This should actually be kind of a priority. You have the experience. After that comes the rest, you know, stuff that is not so interesting, like the epic sculpture stars. Enhanced Gathering 24 hours, everyone has plenty of those. And the last thing I would buy is the statue. Allure of Gold, we have a lot more weekly, meaning that we will be able to get a lot more coins. But there's something very important that you want to read about the league bets. So probably, I'm pretty sure a lot of players don't actually go and read this part, but this is the part that you want to read. Number 6, at the end of the event, all unused Aurics will be reclaimed as food at a 1/1 ratio, meaning that if you have 2 million Aurics, if you actually manage to get that many millions of Aurics, you get 2 million food at the end of the event. So make sure you spend the Aurics, buy all the shop if you actually manage to get that many coins, and after that, whatever. On Allure of Gold, we've noticed that they add a lot more weekly, and we have another extra coin, which is Marks of the Champion. So you can actually get 2 of them each week. Purchase 70 items in the courier station. You have times to do this. use a total of 5,000 minutes worth of training speed up, so you definitely need to train troops. Even if you don't have training speed up, I think it still counts universal, but as long as you train troops. You have login, you have to earn 1,000 Aurics, which you definitely can from all these achievements, and the daily achievements you can definitely make 1,000 Aurics. Right, going into the Eye of Talent, you're probably noticing that I have Mark of the Champion. I have 8 pieces. That means that I bought the bundle twice. So let's go to the bundle. Marks of the Champion. The first one gives you 2, the second one gives you 4, and then if you want to go and purchase the last one, it gives you 8. My advice regarding this bundle would be that it's not really for low and not really for medium spenders as well, because personally I consider myself medium spender, but I just bought the first 2 because of the video, so I can actually do the video so you guys can actually know what else you get from this bundle. This is the last one, so if I purchase this one there will not be another one. I've seen a lot of people already buying it. Not sure if they will introduce more, but I hope not. So Marks of the Champions from the bundle, you can get 14 pieces, 2, 4 and 8. That gives you 14 pieces. Going into an event into the Eye of Talent, so and to make you understand how the multiplier works, you can definitely read the rules, how the multiplier works. They're definitely gonna let you know about this. Now if you bet, for example, 16 coins, or if you bet, let's say 10, is much easier to do the math with 10. Today it shows you the multiplier is 16 right at the start. So if you can predict the champion from today and using 10 coins, if they get to be the champions, then you get 160 coins at the end. So that's actually a lot. It's you all seen the shop, you check the shop, so there's a lot of good stuff in the shop that you can check, but it's a very small chance to actually predict the champion from the first day. My advice would be that you actually just try your luck. If you want to spend on that bundle, you're just gambling with your coins. If you manage to predict, then definitely that's gonna be something. You get a lot of coins. If you manage to predict on the next stage, the group stage round 2, then the multiplier is 12, is 10, is 8. Now if you want to put more coins on the same team, what I believe is gonna work is not gonna apply the same multiplier from the same day. It will keep a record about all the coins that you done, because you get 2 coins a day. So obviously if you can get in 2 coins and you keep want to put on the same team, it will just keep a record about the multiplier, and the amount of coins that you put on that stage will be multiplied like that, like this, and so on. So in the end, if you actually predict from the first day, you can get a large amount of coins, but I don't actually suggest buying the bundles. You don't really even get VIP, so nothing else out of it except these champion marks and gems. So it's really gambling with your money. Now if you do manage to win, it's very simple. Is the materials choice chest that I will spend on. Sculptures would be the listing I will spend on this shop. I would get the materials, obviously the legendaries, the epic speed ups. It's also something that you can spend on. 36 hours with 12 coins, definitely worth it. Stars, and the sculptures is too high value. 15 coins for 1 sculpture is too high value. If I would actually have 100 coins, I would definitely go for the Harvest Goddess statue. So I will use my coins on one team, and if they manage to win, that's pretty much about 108 coins for me. I'll be happy with that. I'll manage to get the Harvest Goddess. If not, that'll be it. So you can actually choose from your top 32 teams which one is your favorite. It's really hard to give you an advice. All teams are very strong. Whoever got in the top 32, they are very strong teams. There are obviously a couple of favorite teams. Rather people are having YouTube channels, or rather they were winning the championship on the last season, you know, various reasons. So I can't really say like who's gonna be the champion, but you know where my coins are gonna go. One love, that's it, confirm. And that's how much I can win. 128. I said 108. I do apologize. Looks like the game does the math for me. Now I'm gonna talk about the teams, and I'm gonna talk about prediction. So this is the next part of the video. First game and first to team, we have C9N versus Hall of Fame. Personally, when I wanna bet on a team, you wanna check a little bit the background of the team as well. And the best way you can do that is just by noticing their last 3 matches, because this is the reason why they also displayed over here. You don't always have to go by power just because C9N has almost 3 billion power and Hall of Fame has 2.7. What I want to say this, and this is gonna go valid for the rest of the teams, any team that is around 2.5 billion power or over is just numbers. So it doesn't matter if it's 3.8, if it's 4 billion, those are just numbers. If you're any 2.5 billion power team, some of them are a little bit low, but all those teams, they have a very high chance for the championship. It's all about the strategy they will make. Some teams actually surprised us that actually managed to get this far. Now, according to the last games, C9N actually demolished everyone. So I highly understand of them being favorite, and even my advice would be of them being favorite on this point. Hall of Fame versus Dots, they actually done a very good score, but the team before that, they didn't actually just push them over. The other team actually managed to put a little bit of resistance. So that's, a question over them regarding their previous game. My advice on this game would be that C9N will probably win against Hall of Fame. We have GWM2, and you're noticing that I also put a bell over there. It's also one of the games that I want to stream. If I actually manage to get in, I'll definitely gonna live stream it. GWM2 versus 96RZ. Now 96RZ was on the top 8 on the previous season of Osiris League. GWM2, they were as a kingdom or as a team, they were ranked 2, and now they made 2 teams. They're obviously very, very strong. You can look by the last games, they demolished everything that was in their path. But 96RZ is a main team, is the main players, and they definitely have a very good strategy. They are definitely committed. I will not look at the power difference, to tell you the truth. They are definitely committed to go all the way in and for the win as well. So I would say that it's gonna be a very crazy match, and actually see who's gonna end up on top. But my bet will be on 96RZ on this one. So I actually think that this is gonna be one of those games where you can actually make a lot of coins, because you can look at the prize pool. So a lot of people are just gonna bet on GWM. They see GWM. I'm not saying they're not strong, so don't get me wrong. Like I mentioned at the beginning, any team that got in the top 32, they are strong, very powerful team. But I just believe that the balance is a little bit shifted on 96RZ favor on this game. So definitely my coins will go on them whenever I have some. V163 versus Necessary Evil. I highly agree about the betting on this game. This is gonna be a fairly equal game. If you look at the previous games, they both pushed over their team, and pretty much with similar scores, meaning that they both have a really solid strategy. They both seems to be very good teams, so we are expecting a very tight game. So definitely it's a 50-50 situation on this one. Hard to tell which one is going to win. We have Zero Tolerance versus Red Rose Empire. Now Red Rose Empire, they actually surprised everyone, actually managing to get in the top 32. If I'm correct, when they passed the groups, they were a little bit over 2 billion power. Now obviously after the rest period, they probably added more power players in the team, more T5, so they upped their power a little bit. They managed to beat a very powerful team on the group stage. Team, they are definitely very committed, and they are in for the win. Now if you look on the Zero Tolerance, if you look on their record, on their previous games, it wasn't such a pushover, especially on the last game. They won by 6,000 points, but still not very, very crazy. Rose were the underdogs on their victory over there, where they won with just 500 points difference. I would say that the balance is a little bit shifted on the Red Rose Empire. I honestly believe that they are a little bit more committed for the win. So my bets will definitely go on Red Rose Empire. UCS versus OV. That's no word needed saying. OV are the champions, so obviously they are also the favorite. I honestly say that they will win. If you judge by UCS last games, you're noticing that they kind of struggled on winning. I mean, not very high differences on points, and even themselves, they haven't done a lot of points, meaning that OV has and definitely has a much better strategy. We will see. Maybe UCS, they are putting their things together and they might just pull up of something miracle that nobody has ever seen, like winning the lottery, and they might win, but still I would say that OV is going to win. Now we have the Azuras versus Art of War. Now Art of War NCB is also a well-known alliance. They've been in the top 8 or top 16 last time. Obviously a lot of players know what they are doing. The Azuras, they pack a lot of power together and they pretty much demolished almost everything they met. Now in terms of strategy, I would say that they are pretty equal, judging by the last games and by the points differences. So we are definitely in for one crazy show. The Azuras versus Art of War. I will still say that Art of War might have a little bit better strategies. They definitely know their things. They definitely know what they're doing. We're about to see. SNO, the Frozen Empire versus Smash Squad. 2.3 billion versus 3 billion alliance. So definitely as a power difference, 700 million, that's a lot. But the Frozen Empire, they managed to get so far, and even against strong teams, they actually done a fair big difference of score. So it's definitely not a team you want to tread lightly, but also Smash Squad, everyone knows about it, Cheese Ghoul Alliance or the alliance he's in. They also done very well against the other teams. I would say that the balance is in Smash Squad favor. Obviously they might win this one. The Frozen Empire, I believe they also know what they are doing on their game, so it's definitely gonna be a very interesting game to see. Like I said, any team that managed to get in the top 32, they're a very powerful team. Now on games like this, I want to give you another advice. This is something that I done in the first season and it can actually surprise you. Now you're noticing that is the prize pool is 35,000 versus 266,000. At some point it will obviously be even more shifted on this alliance favor. Now if you bet on Smash Squad and they win, you pretty much get around 10%. So if you bet 100 coins on Smash Squad, you win 110. So how profitable is actually that? To bet 100 and just win 110. If they lose, you lose half, like on any other game, so you lose 50. But if you bet 100 coins on NSO and if they win, you get 1,100. So how about that? It is a risk that you're actually trying, but it comes rewarding if they manage to win, if NSO manage to win. So that's pretty much not just on this game, but there's gonna be a couple more games further down. We're gonna get there as well, which pretty much that's what I do. I don't go for the favorite, I don't go for the winner, because surprises happened, exactly like in the final where everyone said that GWM is going to win and OV won. The previous games that OV won, everyone made a crazy ton amount of coins, or 96 RZ. I'm talking about season 1, where as well they were not favorite. Everyone was keep betting on the other team and people made millions of coins. That's how people made millions of coins, by betting on the other underdogs. And that's what actually gives you joys and about this betting system, when you actually win those large amount of coins. 166 versus NC, these are two alliances that are in my group, and honestly they are pretty equal in power, and considering what they've done on their previous games, I would say they are pretty equal as well. But 112, they managed to beat Show from 1 to 4-5, which again, it's a very powerful alliance. So definitely 112 is no joke. I would say that the balance is a little bit shifted on 112 favor over here, but we are about to see the results later on. Again, I would say that pretty equal match, just a little bit more in NC favor. MFLD versus DSP, one epic game that is definitely gonna happen. You're noticing that I put the bell over there, so that's the second game I plan to stream. Very interesting game. 3 billion versus 3.1 billion. Both teams very similar on scores on their previous games, just pushing over the other team, you know, as much as they could. This is gonna be a very epic game. Both, like I said, both teams are just very powerful. So I'm really looking forward for this game. 50-50. It's a 50-50 game. Can't say that one team has better strategy than the other. We will see who is going to win it. It's definitely going to be a very interesting game. TX46 versus NB2. Power-wise, 4-6 gang, 3.2 billion. Definitely a lot. NB2, 2.9 billion. Again, no joke. Judging by their last games, both teams done very good. 4-6 gangs, they actually push over quite by a lot of difference their previous games, NB2 didn't do bad either. 30,000 difference. Very equal on differences they actually done on their previous game. NB2 was also in the first season on the first 8, so there's not something you want to again tread lightly. I would say that the favor on this game should be NB2, but it's not. I think people just go with power, so my coins will definitely go on NB2 on this one. Just something 50 coins or whatever, because if they win I just get a lot of it. 89px versus SOD. Judging by the last games, SOD kinda struggled to win. Nothing personal, I'll be very honest, but no, not very high differences on the last 2 games. Maybe the teams, they were actually very dedicated and very strong, so that can be a thing as well. I didn't actually watch the games. I mean, who can actually watch all the games? I can only judge by the score. The other 89px, they just push over everything they met, just war stomp. So it's gonna be a very interesting game, but I will say that the betting looks alright. The favor should be 89px. T79 versus BBTH. Now BBTA seems to be the favorite on this one in terms of betting, but if we look again at their score for an almost 3 billion alliance, not very crazy differences. I would say that they kinda struggled to win their last 2 games, or they were really marginal. T79 also marginally won against IKM by 1,600, but IKM, it was one of the top alliances on the last season, so T79 actually to beat a team like that, it's an achievement, so not something you want to again tread lightly. I would personally say that T79 have a very good shot against BBTH on this game, so I'm definitely gonna bet on them. Rising Phoenix is the former LG1 alliance. They are going against Hong Kong Legends. They were on the top 32 or higher on the previous season. I don't actually remember correctly, but I will say that the balance should be a little bit shifted on their favor. We will see how everything is gonna end up. I will say that this is gonna be a pretty equal game and a very interesting one. K9T versus GOGT. Judging by the previous record, K9T a little bit struggled, not very high differences against the other teams. GOGT kinda done very big difference against the other teams despite their power. Strategy plays a very important role. But one thing I have to mention, that Kingdom 93 has 2 teams in the top 32 like GWM. So that's definitely an achievement, and there's definitely a very strong kingdom. So again, not a team you want to tread lightly, but I would say that the favor on this game is going to go slightly on GOGT. JWM versus Bob's Lifestyle. Well, there's no words needed saying. Again, definitely GWM is just gonna worst on them, but definitely maybe Bob's Lifestyle, they're gonna pull a rabbit out of the hat and miracles might happen, you know, they win the lottery and stuff like that. So I'm definitely gonna bet just significantly like 50 coins, because if they win, it's exactly like I was talking on the previous games. You're noticing the balance, how much is shifted. That's like 14 times you win if Bob's Lifestyle actually managed to win. We will definitely see the results. I think they previously fight in the season 1 as well. I don't remember 100% for sure, and obviously GWM won because they managed to get in the final. Maybe they can get their revenge now. Let's see. And the last game, I'm not sure why they put it last. This is again gonna be one of the epic games that you want to watch. P245 3.6 billion versus 3 billion, the Avengers. Both teams are very strong team, and I do have to say that I know the players from the Avengers, and they are all very strong players, dedicated players. They know their games, they know what they're doing. It's gonna be a crazy game. But I believe that this is going to be a very 50-50 game. It's hard to tell which is which. I would say that the players that perform better, I'm not sure if I should say strategy at this point. I would just say that the players that manage to perform better will actually bring the win. So again, it's a very favorite time for them. It's a very favorite time for us. 19 UTC is going to be a very nice evening and a very tense 1 hour. All the games look very interesting. It's just a couple of the games, like I mentioned when I went through them, that pretty much just look one-sided, but a lot of interesting games starting from the groups, and we're definitely gonna see a lot more interesting games. Let me know if you actually like or enjoy this kind of talks and discussions about teams and a little bit of their background, what I know or what I've noticed, and I will definitely do this every week whenever there is games and I can pretty much talk about it, because all the games I will definitely monitor. Not sure if I'll manage to watch all of them, so I'll try to gather as much information as I can about each and every team. It was a little bit longer video than I expected, but like I said, there is a lot to talk about the teams. Let me know in the comment section below if you like more of this. This is your boy Jeroni, signing off. Peace out, yo, and take care. See you guys on the next one.